Welcome back to the Land House vlog. I've got Emma with me today. We are all loaded up and about to head down to the creek to do a ram pump test and install. So this past couple of days I went on a double night camping trip with my brother-in-law and a friend named Steven. And we had a great time. So here's a little bit of some clips from that trip. This is day 2 of a hike to Mount Mitchell and Celo. I've got my brother-in-law and friend Steven. And it's been a learning experience and quite fun so far. We started at a trail called Colbert's Creek and hiked up to Deep Gap. And we thought we were going to get water there and realized we had passed the water a quarter of a mile back. So we've just spent an extra half mile of hiking to get lots of water. So that was fun. But we are now heading up towards Celo Mountain. And here's the view we have so far.
You'll have to add some music to that.
Thank you. That's like the 4th time Land House has ever had a camera crew in 5 years.
How many?
I believe we are approaching Celo Knob. Yeah, here's the cutoff for Woody Ridge. So we are pretty much at the highest point, the last highest point that we're going to reach on this trail before we start heading back down. It is now 8 o'clock at night. We just hiked about a quarter of a mile up the trail, had some supper, hung the bear bag, and now we've just wrapped up setting up camp. Here is my setup. First time for me to use a trekking pole to lift up one side of the tarp. I like it. Definitely gives easier access to everything underneath there. So we can head up here a little bit. Steven's got his tent set up on the only good tent spot around. A little bit cramped, but should do quite well. And then my brother-in-law is over here. He is getting his hammock set up. He found a tree that's a little bit large for his webbing, so we have swapped for the evening. I have 9 foot, and he's got, what, a 3-foot piece?
I'm not sure, 4 or 6.
Something not quite long enough. And so he's got his hammock set up under here. We are right on the ridge, so there's open sky over there and over there. So we are expecting potential wind, but hopefully will be a good rain-free evening. That's what I'm hoping for. The step counter said that we had hiked 9 miles, a little over 9 miles. And that is definitely the most that I've hiked in a single day. And it's probably pretty close for the rest of the group here. But it's getting dark, and so I will see you tomorrow. We have packed up camp, finished breakfast, and we are making our descent from the top of Mount Celo. With the help of some Benadryl and earplugs, I think I slept close to 4 to 5 hours. Steven seems to be able to sleep no matter where he is. My brother-in-law only slept maybe an hour, if that. He had a hard time with getting comfortable, and it rained pretty good on us too. So we will have to work on our setup some more. But for me, the 3rd night has been the best hammock camping night so far. And I'm going to have to attribute some of that to some Benadryl, which I have not had in about 12 years, but it was worth it. There used to be an old dam here where the town of Burnsville got its water from. It's several feet above the town. But so here's the old dam. It's pretty cool. A long time ago. So it was really a fun trip. We went a total of 16 miles in 2 days, basically. That is by far the most that I have ever done in a single trip like that. I've got a review coming up on the shoes that I wore. They were a lifesaver. I've been wearing some big heavy boots and I get blisters so quick, but using those shoes, not a single problem in 16 miles, so very good. But anyway, we're gonna head down here and get a 1/2-inch ram pump connected to the bucket intake that I've been installing over the past couple of weeks. We've reached the end of our trail, so it's time to go on foot. There we go. We're heading down to the creek now, where we're gonna get this pump installed. This should be a fun test. So typically with a ram pump, you want to have a supply line that is larger than your drive pipe. But in this case, the setup I have so far is both 1/2 inch. So it's gonna be interesting to see if it pulls more water than it's being supplied, or if it's perfect. I'm gonna go with it's gonna work well. So let me find a good spot to set Emma down where it's not gonna be any danger, and we will begin this test. You did great, Emma. You were a big help. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. You need to wipe away that bottom milk. Well, are you ready to go back inside? It's about that time. It might rain soon. Well, we just finished up that build and install video. Here's just a 1/2 inch pump down here in the creek, and it is flowing quite nice, and the bucket intake up here is doing very well. I am very impressed with the low flow setup and the bucket intake. Well, we just made it out of the woods. I got Emma here. We're about to head back to the house, but as you recall, last week there was a false alarm about a German wasp nest down by the creek. Took some gas down there and gonna pour it in there, but never did find them. Well, I was just hiking up here, getting some of this poly pipe for the ram pump test. Right in here, where Lainey is running around, there is a nest. Oh, she's just stirred them up. You may not be able to see any of that, but tonight we're gonna come back right in there and pour some gas down in that hole and get rid of those German wasps. So I don't want to get much closer with the dogs stirring around, but okay, right in there. Anyway, we'll come back later when it's dark. There's one. There's two. Good job, puppies. Good job. It's actually turned off rather cool out here today. It's August 28th, and it feels like it's, I don't know, about 68 or so. I've got a bag of clothes that I don't want to wear anymore, and 2 bags of trash. Those boxes I'm saving for the garden for next year, so I'll be taking care of that pretty soon. But anyway, so Emma and I are going to go to town. I did remember that these are trash, and this other bag is not trash. So we're going to take this trash to the convenience center, and then these shorts are going to go to a reconciliation house, and then I might go to the gym for a while. I'm driving up the road where the apartment is that Ashley and I moved into when we first got married. It's nothing special. It's right up here. We don't miss that place at all. Right there on the corner. Good times. Definitely glad to be in our new house. So Emma, if you're watching this in the future, that's where your parents lived before you were born. We have returned from town and it's about 7:45. I've decided to take care of these German wasps now. Now I don't go looking for German wasps to take care of them. I just take care of the ones that are here. So, I mean, if they were, yeah, hold on. That should do it. Yeah, so if these German wasps had been about 100 feet in that direction, they'd be fine. They would never bother me and I would never bother them, but when they're right here in my yard, there's a problem. So the plan is to dump the gas into the hole and then place the container over the hole, and the fumes will basically choke them out. So I'm seeing a couple of them flying around in here. There's still a bunch of them out. I wonder if that'll matter. Maybe I should wait a few more minutes. I think I'll do that. While I'm waiting for nightfall and all these wasps to go back in their hole, I'm going to pitch a question that may be the most ridiculous you've heard on the channel. When I was 5 or 6 years old, my dad and I were sitting on the couch watching a cartoon movie, and we had to go somewhere. So he said he would record it and I could watch when we got back. He didn't record it, and I have spent a few minutes here and there for the past, I would say, 25 years trying to find this cartoon again. What I remember about the cartoon was that there was a boy, I think yellow hair, may have been named Zach, and he got stuck in some nightmare land, and if he wasn't out by midnight, he'd be stuck forever. And the purple or blue dragon was trying to help him escape from that land. So if you know anything about a cartoon that came out sometime around 1989 or 1990, then let me know, because I have searched for a long time and never found that movie. All right, let's see if they have gone back in their hole yet. Okay. All right, there we go. Got a full load of gas in there and covered up the hole, so maybe that will work out pretty good. Well, I didn't film any yesterday because it was a family day. We went to Asheville and bought Emma some clothes and got Ashley some makeup, and apparently pumpkin spice coffee is out, and that means it's time to get some of that. So anyway, didn't film any, but yesterday my neighbor stopped by and asked if he could dig some on the property. He wants to reroute the creek for a short time so that he can fix the ponds that are down here. So Emma and I are heading down to see that progress, so maybe I can get a good shot of what's going on down here. So he has rerouted this part of the creek too, because there was a spring that was flowing past the main creek, and he's just rerouted down this way. Oh look, a newt. I'm glad my neighbor is getting out there and working on those ponds. He just bought the property of the pond, so he is really excited to do a lot of work there. Well, Ashley just took Emma for a trip into town to see some friends, which means I have got a couple hours without a toddler. So I think what I want to do is, before the rain hits, get a panel right here. I'm gonna have to cut a little bit for the door, and you can see how that's wind has caught that and it's ripping it. So gotta get this on here. So get a panel there, and then the piece that I cut for the front of the building has that angle. I'm hoping it's close to the same, and I can put it up here and get one full piece done. When there's a review coming up on a paint sprayer, and I want to be able to use it on the building for part of the review, and it would be cool to have several pieces of this siding up that I can test that out with. So it's going to rain soon, as you can see from these clouds, and so I want to go ahead and get some work done. So you've seen all this before, and I'm just going to skip showing it to you this time. If I keep this up, I'm likely to break a sweat. Well, I got these two sections installed here, and looking nice. Got the first piece around this door, which should stop that piece from ripping any further, and I think it looks good. So I've got one more piece inside that I'm going to cut down real quick. The rain may be passing me, and I'm gonna get it right there, and that'll give me plenty of area to test on whenever I get that paint sprayer. So it should be good. Well, I was thinking if it started to rain, I would go in the workshop and do some insulation. But if it's not going to rain, I want to go run some more ram pump tests. So I think it's ram pump time. But as you can see, it is definitely coming out now. So Emma is flapping herself with her chew toy and reading about the ABCs. Ashley is in her office doing some research for a book she's writing. And I'm about to start doing some website stuff for my brother and then edit this vlog for tomorrow. Thank you so much for being part of this week's vlog. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I will see you next week for another exciting vlog. Bye.